I am constantly observing just a ton of anxiety around getting clients. And I think so much of it comes down to this natural human fear that we have, which is this fear of rejection. And believe me, I know I'm going to share a story with you about a funny story of my very first advertisement that I only ran because I had just a tremendous fear of rejection. But let me tell you this, it does not have to be that hard. Getting clients is really not as hard as you think or as you fear it is. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode. These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough. All right, before we dive in, today, and this is super relevant, my sponsor is me, of course, and specifically, I want you to check out the link in the description. I'm doing a free web class this week. It's March 31st, 2022, is the date of the web class on how to get your first 5 clients. Now, it's especially focused on copywriters and freelancers, but really any client business can follow this exact same blueprint, this exact same method for how to get your first 5 clients. The link is in the description and it's free. Hey, that's awesome. So my very first advertisement that I ever ran, today I get paid a ton of money to create advertisements. I do it for a living. I did not know that I was going to go into advertising, but for whatever crazy reason, a friend of mine and I came up with the idea that when I was looking for a prom date for my senior prom, I should run an ad in the school newspaper and I should request responses to be my prom date. And while this is fun and funny as a story, the reality is that I was terrified of rejection. I was terrified to ask anyone to prom. If I was okay getting a no, I probably would have gotten a yes. I probably could have chosen someone to go to prom with and had a great time with the person that I chose. I did actually go to someone with a good friend and had a great time and had a great senior prom. It had nothing to do with running the advertisement as far as I know, though. But I ran this advertisement to be my prom date because I was just terrified of getting rejected. And so much of trying to get clients is like that for people looking to launch a client business, launch a freelance business, become a copywriter. We are so afraid of rejection that it holds us back from any type of conversations or engagement with potential clients. And it just often, it prevents us from going after it, from going after that client, from starting the conversation, from asking them to be our date for this project or whatever, right? So we're afraid of it, and therefore we do things to insulate ourselves from what actually works to get clients, actually approaching clients, actually talking to clients. We do things to insulate ourselves, like we write content and we post on social media, and we do all these things just so we don't have to engage with the potential client. And we don't get our first clients. And it's just like me running that ad so I could get a prom date. I was afraid to engage with anybody, to have a conversation with anybody that I wanted to be my prom date because I was too afraid of rejection. And so I just insulated myself. I isolated myself from the possibility of rejection. And it's still what would have happened? Whatever. The reality is that, getting a prom date is not that hard. You pick someone who you would like to go to prom with, who you think might want to go to prom with you, and you say, hey, would you be interested in going to prom? We could maybe go here for dinner beforehand. We could have a lot of fun, whatever, right? It's a fairly simple action plan. It's a fairly simple, this is what we do, right? And getting clients is really the same way. It's a fairly simple thing for most client businesses to hire people on, or for many businesses to hire people on this freelance or outsource basis, right? and they're familiar with it. They know what it's like. They know what it's like to be approached. And some of them really actually do want to, for example, hire a copywriter, right? And they're looking for a good copywriter to come along and say, hey, would you like to do this project date with me? Would you like to go on this journey with me? And I will be the copywriter and you'll be the client and we'll have fun, right? We'll create some success together. And so if you want to get clients, it really is that simple. You need a fairly simple action plan in place. Who are you going to approach? Like, who do you approach? How are you going to approach them? How are you going to start that conversation? What are you going to say? What offer are you going to eventually make? And like, if they do want to talk to you, if they are engaged, like, what are the next steps that you want them to take? So for example, on Thursday, I'm going to be teaching my minimum viable funnel strategy. It's an entire process for like engaging with people and getting them on the phone, on a Zoom call, however, you're going to have that conversation with them. And then you make an offer. And it's not that difficult. It's not as hard as you think. And yeah, there's probably going to be some rejection. Like, it's kind of natural. And you'll also realize that it's not the end of the world when you get rejected. Once you have this plan in place, a simple action plan in place, then this is the hardest part. You need to act with courage. Knowing rejection is likely, right? You need to act with courage. And I'm reminded of Dan Sullivan's 4 C's model, where you commit to taking an action, right? You commit to this action plan. You have to act with courage, and courage is feeling the fear and acting anyway. It's not acting without fear. That's a misconception about courage. Courage is feeling the fear and then acting anyway. And then once you act with courage, you start to gain competence, which is like, oh, I know how this works. I know what this is like, right? Competence, and then you get confidence. Okay, so you only get confidence, you only gain confidence through experience, and that comes after committing and acting with courage and gaining the competence, and then you get the confidence, and then you may choose to commit to maybe going after bigger clients or something like that. Like, it's a feedback cycle that the more you do it, the more confidence grows within you. But really, man, it does not have to be as hard. Like, getting a prom date is not as hard as I made it out to be when I was a senior in high school. And getting clients is not as hard as you think. You just need to follow a fairly simple process, and you will very quickly realize that as much as you want that client, there's a pretty high likelihood that they want you back. And that's something you'll only figure out when you take action. And so check out the link in my description to how to get your first 5 clients. If you are a freelancer, a copywriter, coach, consultant, any kind of client business, really, this can work for you. It's the same fundamental process regardless of what you're actually selling, the service that you're selling to clients. So check out the link in the description to how to get your first 5 clients, and we'll go much deeper into some of these topics and give you a specific action plan to follow. I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. In every episode, even those where I'm pitching something else, like how to get your first 5 clients free web class, I aim to increase your marketing genius. And hey, if you can take one step further with a little bit more courage towards getting that client that you want, that is going to be your marketing genius manifested through that behavior. So I'll catch you again in the next episode. See you soon. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.